Okay, so welcome back to my channel, guys, or welcome to all new people, if there's any new people. So this is part two of the Get to Know Me tag video because, yeah, when I recorded it, it was 45 minutes long, so that's insane. So I split it up into two, and this is part two. So enjoy. Do you have any weird quirks? Yes, I talk to myself when I'm alone. What is your favorite Netflix show? Fast Cash, the Swedish TV show that was like the highest grossing Netflix show a couple of years ago. What phone do I have? I have a Redmi Note 14 Pro 5G that I'm recording on right now. Am I left or right-handed? I'm right-handed. What time do you go to bed? Right now, around 1 to 2 p.m. a.m. But it can be like 10 p.m. It depends, like totally. Who is your celebrity crush? That would be Scarlett Johansson, Gemma Chan, Jacob Elordi, and Taylor Lautner. What are your favorite values in friends? Trust. For sure, trust. Do I have any tattoos, and if so, how many? Yes, I have tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos. And I got my first two that are there. Those are my first tattoos, and I got them, but I wasn't supposed to get them. A friend called me asking me to go with her to get her a tattoo, and she wanted to get an elephant on her ankle. And I went with her, and I've always wanted tattoos. So then I'm like, oh, maybe I should get tattoos. So I got these two, and I hid them from everyone. And then I went to my parents' place for my birthday, and they gifted me a shirt. And then I put it on, and like I had to take my shirt off, and I put it on, and then accidentally my pants slid down a bit, and my dad saw them, and he's like trying to cover it up so my mom wouldn't see it, and she didn't see it until she passed away, so she never knew I had tattoos. Then I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 19 tattoos. No, wait. 21. I have 21 tattoos. Because I have 2 here. And I have on my back, I have 3 tattoos. I have tattoos on either side of my chest, both arms. Yes. So 21 tattoos. And I want to get more, so. What is your funniest memory from high school? This is funny. This is really funny. I think I want to do like a separate video on this sometime. No, what that was, we were supposed to write an essay. Or like, no, it was a novel. Because we had this course in Swedish. We really like learned about like writing and stuff like that. And we were supposed to write a novel. And like everyone wrote not like normal novels. I think I wrote like a love novel. About like how I met my then girlfriend, which was a really good novel, and because we started chatting, and then I started high school, and then the one day I'm sitting in class, and 2 girls, random girls, get a guided tour by teachers, and like they sit down for our lesson, and she sits down next to me. And like I think she's really good looking. And then like I come home at night and I start chatting with this girl again, and I'm like, oh yeah, how's your day been? And she's like, oh no, I went visiting a high school that I might start in. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And the thing is, like, back in the day we didn't send like photos that often, so I was like, oh, that's cool. So what high school was it? Blah blah blah. And we had talked for like a long time before, and we got like really liked each other, and liked to chat. And then she was like, "Oh, it was this school," and I'm like, "Wait, that's my school. I go." I'm like, "What class did you attend?" And she's like, "Oh, I attend." I'm like, "Wait, were you sitting up next to me like for two classes in a row?" And she's like, "Oh, that was you. That's so cool. I think you're really hot." And I'm like, "I think you're really hot." And then she started at my school, and she had a boyfriend at the time, but and then we started fooling around. Then she broke up with her boyfriend. We got together. Blah blah blah. But anyway, that's another story. Okay, so that's a story about my high school girlfriend. Back to the question. The funniest memory. That was we wrote the novel. I wrote about my girlfriend. My one friend wrote about our teacher. She forgot that we would hand this in. She thought that we were writing it and we're supposed to like tell each other and talk about it in groups, but we're supposed to hand it in to the teacher. And he was like maybe 25, so or 30. He was like really young, close to us in age, and she found him really sexy and hot. So she wrote a sex novel about him, and she like brings it to school that the day we're supposed to hand it in. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I have this novel. I'm gonna tell you all about it." And we're like, "Why? We're supposed to hand it in to him." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're, we're handing it in to him. He's gonna grade it." And then she panics, but she hands it in. She gets called in after like a few days. They like talks about it, but she never told us what they talked about. But I know she thought it was really awkward. And yeah, what is your favorite holiday? Like of the year? I don't know if I like. I like Christmas, but I like Easter too. So, midsummer I like kind of. Like I think I like all holidays. What is your best trait? That I'm very talkative and easygoing. So I like when I'm in the city, like I can go into the store and like start talking to people and like really click, and we can talk a lot for a long time. Or like in a restaurant, if I see someone being alone, I start talking to them, and then we might like even grab a drink or whatever. That's actually how I met a few of my friends. I started talking to them when they were alone. So I think that's my best trait. What is your favorite restaurant in the world? It's Hakkasan and the Blue Elephant, uh, like internationally. Here in Sweden, it's Padar. It's a French restaurant here. What is the first? What is an interesting fact about you? Uh, I don't know. That I'm married. I got married at 27. Uh, like I don't know. I'm adopted or whatever. I have tattoos, piercings. Like I don't know. I have like a lot of interesting facts, but don't know. Yeah. Okay, let's go with the tattoos. I have more tattoos than people assume. What is the first thing you notice in people? The first 30 minutes. Oh my god. The first thing I notice in people, I think that's their aura, like what kind of yeah, what aura they expel. So if it's a nice person or not, I think. Uh, what is your spirit animal? I don't know. Maybe like a dolphin or bird, like living its life happily, happy-go-lucky little thing. What is your favorite piece of clothing? Nice underwear. Did you go to college? Yes, I did. For a long time. Like I think it started. Uh, I graduated high school in 2007. Then I went to college at 2008, and I quit college at 2014. So I went to college for 6 years. How long was your longest relationship? It's my marriage because we started dating in 2015, got engaged in 2016, married in 2017, and now it's 2000. Uh, someone's calling me. But now it's 2025. So 8 years of marriage, 10 years of dating. What would you have you name your children? I would want to name them Max and Isabella, but my husband, I think he disagrees with that, so that might not happen. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Ben and Jerry's, chocolate brownie. Normally strawberry whip. What was your first job? My first job was in a restaurant. I started as a busboy, then I became a waiter, and then I became a waiter and a bartender. What is the first item on your bucket list? It was skydiving, which I've done. And I actually have. Wait. I have the certificate that I did it. I did it back in 2017, 2 days before my birthday. My husband got a surprise because I had said that, oh yeah, that looks really fun, and who is scared of skydiving? Every time we watched like Mission Impossible and stuff. So he got that for me, and I did it, and the video is actually on my channel. So I will link that down below too, and you will see me skydive. And I look like crap because I have this like mask and ugly cap on. Uh, what is your go-to hairstyle? Like this, slick backwards. Love that. Easy and easy breezy. If you could change one bad habit of yours, what would it be? That I'm freaking messy. That is something I would change. What is your most memorable childhood memory? I have a lot of childhood memories. But like one that etched into my memory really bad. It's I built this like wooden boat, from bark of a tree. Um, I think it was with my cousins, and I thought it was the most beautiful, amazing boat in the world. And when we were going home, I wanted to bring the boat home. My mom puts it in the sea, and it sails away. And I think I cried the entire way back home and at night because like I thought it was amazing and a beautiful boat. But yeah, that's something I really remember. Do you have any bad habits? Yes, I bite my nails. That is a really bad habit. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a cat, and she's sleeping right now. Uh, do you prefer the city or the country? Uh, I've grown up both in the city and the country, but I think like for now, the age I am in now, I prefer the city, and maybe when I get older, I will prefer go back in the countryside. Maybe go back there. Where did you grow up? I grew up here in Sweden, and also Germany because we lived there for 2 years, and I went to kindergarten in Germany. But so yeah, I grew up in Stockholm, Cologne, Germany, and in the city here in Sweden, like in Stockholm, but also in a town 1 hour south over here, which is like in the countryside. So both. What social media platform do you use the most? Definitely Instagram. So if you haven't, go check out my Instagram. I will link that down below, and it's also linked in my YouTube banner about. But I also have TikTok, and that will also be linked. What is one thing that you wish people knew about you? That again, similar to the one I answered before, I think that would be that I'm not as superficial as I might come off in social media. When was the last time you embarrassed yourself? Like I don't know. Like I do things that I think might be embarrassing, but others might not, and then like vice versa. But last week I was in the city and I went to the store to look at some paintings. Uh, and I coughed so bad, and that I think that was embarrassing. But the girl there was really nice and got to know her real well because we started talking a lot. But she was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna go get you water." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And then I got water, drank it, but then I still coughed. So she like went back and forth to get water, and I think that was embarrassing. But yeah, we actually got to know each other really well. I stayed there for 3 hours in that store and talked. and then I had been like for 2 hours in other stores talking to people I know. So again, that's a trade, like what a good trade about it. I get to know people. But yeah, I thought that was embarrassing. And then also last week, I went to my like go-to place for drinks when I'm in the city, and I had a drink, and then like I got a call that I had to go to the pharmacy, which is like 2 minutes away. So I went there, and then I get a text, "You forgot to pay," and I'm like, "I'm coming back. I left stuff, so I'm coming back." But that was also quite embarrassing. But I know them, so and they knew that I was coming back, but they still text me anyway. My morning. What is your morning routine? My morning routine is waking up, grabbing a shower, grabbing something to drink, like lemonade. That because I always have a drink with me, so I always have like lemonade, iced tea, something. How would you describe your fashion sense? Amazing. No, but I would describe it maybe a bit fashion forward. Uh, because like take inspiration from like the red carpet, runway, and then I mix and match like high end with luxury and high street. So I kind of have my own style, but still inspired by others. So yeah, maybe like that. What is your favorite book? Oh yeah, I had that. It was a long one. I had to translate it. It's a Swedish book called Den vidunderliga kärlekshistorien, and in English that translates apparently to, because this is Wikipedia, the horrific sufferings of the mind-reading monster Hercules Barefoot, the story of monstrous love. So that's the translation, but it's a really beautiful book. Um, it's about uh, a deformed and deaf mute little dwarf, midget, sorry. It's supposed to be back in the olden days, so that's why I say that. And he has like a telepathic power, and he has this extraordinary love for a girl called Henriette. Uh, so it's about that. And it's really beautiful. Like how love overpowers looks and other stuff. What inspires you? My dad, and my mom, like people around me, I think inspires me. Uh, and also, I have this like mental health guru guy that I follow on YouTube, Dre Drexler. I will link him down below too. He's the one who got me into the books that I mentioned before, the self-help books. What word do you hate? I hate being called sweetie. Hate it. My husband does it sometimes, and I'm like, ugh. I just cringe. I hate sweetie. What's your favorite season and why? Like I love summer, but I also love winter with snow. So I like winter and summer. 2 questions left. What's one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? Just be yourself and trust yourself. Yeah. Don't do things just because others expect it of you. How do you stay safe online and protect your privacy while being active on YouTube, Instagram, and other platforms? Um, I try not to use my full name, for one. Uh, I never disclose exactly where I live, although in Sweden it's really easy to find out, but like I don't do that. Um, I I'm very careful about what I share, except now I share a lot, but otherwise I don't share that much about my marriage or like my husband or friends, unless they agree to it. I would never like talk about a person and mention them by name without their consent. Um, I am really careful about like some comments and emails, what I answer and what I don't answer. Um, so that's why I have like a separate mail for that. So like I do all of those preventive things because I've been in social media since like 2008. I started a blog that grew up really quickly in Sweden. Uh, so I had that until like 2014, 15. Then I started using Instagram instead. Uh, so I've been like on social media since 2008. And of course, yeah, I've had my share of like weird things from people. The weirdest thing is like someone actually offered to fly me to France for a weekend. That is weird, I think. But also, sometimes you get like you think they're weird emails, but then like if I'm interested and it's kind of weird, I go digging and I like Google and stuff. So I answered one email, and that actually turned out giving me a modeling contract. So sometimes it can be good. Uh, and oh yeah, I had two questions left. I forgot. Uh, how's my modeling career going? Like not good at all. Uh, the modeling agency that I was with dissolved last year. Uh, but it was a really good agency, and they protected me too. Like because I said I don't want to do like naked shoots. So if they got like a booking for me that included that, they would automatically like call the client and say no. So they were really amazing. Uh, but it was fun. I've had some really fun experiences, and I have some amazing photos that I love from that. And you can find them on my Instagram. Uh, but no, it's going really bad. And also, I think I'm like getting too old. Although people say that I don't look that old, so I don't look like 37. So who knows? It might like explode again. And the last question is, what is my favorite thing to do in the summer? Uh, just hang out and be like and enjoying Stockholm because it's a beautiful city. So like walking around, watching people, watching the city. That's my favorite thing. So that's 44 minutes. So thank you guys for all these questions. It was really interesting. Some of the questions you sent me also mixed with the ones from Google, but the ones you sent me, I think those were really personal. Like my biggest secret and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess you guys wanted to get to know me more, so well, now you did, and I feel proud that I answered your questions. I actually didn't back out of any. So thank you guys. Uh, if you have any other questions, like DM me or email me or whatever. Uh, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.